Are you a deviant? You know, like those of us who binge watch serial killer programs, laugh at the stupid shit people do, and revel in anything adult? Well, you found your people. Join us as we crack open the door to the padded cell and release the insanely stupid, the weirdly wonderful, and those who choose to live outside societal norms. We'll delve into the strange, the macabre, the sexy, and the outrageous. So, if you're a deviant, then you have your place with us in the padded cell. Hello and welcome to episode 78 of the Padded Cell Podcast.
78?
Yes, it is 78. We're doing our 100 soon. I've been actually thinking about our 100.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Doing something special?
Yes, okay. I think so. I might do a little montage of people's favourites, just like what I am looking to do. I need to speak to Dylan about this, which is part of that. We're having a discussion between ourselves already. I'm going to start the episode. I'm really sorry.
You just drink your cuppa.
What I want to do is like a little bit of like a commercial type video, just like a short advertise the Padded Cell of all best bits, stills, videos, like a proper little, you know, But for the 100th episode, I'm going to do like little montages of some of the favourite bits based on people's, because loads of people have been telling me already what the favourite bits are.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is going out on the 13th of March. Number 13, are you superstitious?
Not massively, no. I keep seeing like angel numbers and shit like that, but I don't know if I believe in them, but you know, I can't help us when you see 1111, you're like,
I'm not really superstitious about number 13.
Yeah.
Not ever bad's happened to me on Friday the 13th, and you know, if you had to sit on number 13 on a plane, probably wouldn't be that bothered. Yeah. Really.
Yeah, same. But
I did decide to have a little look about the number 13 and why it is superstitious to some people.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good, yeah.
Right, there's a word for the fear of the number 13, and I don't think I can say it.
Do you want me to have a go?
Triskaidekaphobia.
Triskaidekaphobia?
No.
Triskaidekaphobia.
Kaphobia. Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Just 13 phobia?
13ophobia.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the official term anyway. And the superstition's a mix of like history, religion, culture, that kind of thing.
Coincidence.
So there's a few times, I suppose, where people think it might have come from. One is from Norse mythology.
Okay. Yeah.
So they said that 12 gods were having a feast in Valhalla. Loki, the trickster god, crashed at the party as the 13th guest and caused absolute fucking murder. Also leading to the death of their beloved god Balder.
Okay, yeah.
So the result, 13 at a dinner table became a bad omen. Right. And there's still people that I know that won't have 13 people around a dinner table, and some restaurants won't have a 13-seater table.
Right.
And, you know, like long tables, when they have like numbers on and stuff like that, they'll often skip. So, also, the Last Supper, if you're into Christianity, I know all about that stuff.
Yeah.
Jesus had 12 disciples. Yeah. Making 13 at the table, including Jesus himself. But Judas Iscariot, his betrayer, it was the 13th guest.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. And it reinforced the idea that 13 was tied to misfortune. It's just bullshit.
Yeah, it's
bullshit. It just happens to be 13.
You get some streets with no number 13 house, don't you?
Well, you have planes, don't have row 13s.
Yeah.
You have some like black blocks of flats and that don't have 13th floor. Office buildings have a 13th floor. Some like train seats don't have.
It's a bit of a piss take, isn't it?
Yeah. It's because people won't buy them. Won't buy the seats. I would. Give me half price.
Yeah.
No problem at all.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, let's face it, if you're on a plane and you're in seat 13 and the plane crashes, the chances are it's not only just going to be seat 13 who's going to die.
Yeah.
There's just a seat in it.
Yeah.
So if you're going to give me 13 half price because it's bad luck, I'll have it.
I'll take that,
Yeah. So, reinforcing this superstition, on Friday, the 13th of October, 1307, King Philip IV of France arrested the Knights Templar. And many were tortured and executed, strengthening the fear of Friday the 13th. And obviously you've got the Friday the 13th franchise, which has helped all this superstition.
Of course,
malarkey, you know. But yeah, just going back there, it says many hotels and skyscrapers omit the 13th floor.
It's crazy.
No row 13 on airplanes. And sports and racing events, they tend to avoid 13 on jerseys and jumpers and cars. because it's unlucky, yeah. However, there's no scientific evidence whatsoever to say that number 13 is actually unlucky. And even Friday the 13th, there's been no like increase in bad things happening on that day.
Do you reckon that's like the biggest superstition then?
Friday the 13th, I think so, yeah. Well, you think there's a few things like touch wood, isn't there? You know, don't walk under ladders.
Yeah.
But I think 13 is probably the most internationally known, followed, recognised, yeah? Yeah. But it says here that in Italy, it's associated with good fortune, and in some Asian cultures is linked to prosperity.
Okay.
So it's not all bad,
yeah.
But I just don't go along with the 13 thing at all.
I don't, no.
So I'm sure being the 13th of March and this goes out, it's not going to make any difference to our chaotic episode whatsoever. It's going to be the usual chaos.
It might be a bit more chaos.
Right, the thing that I wanted to do the other week, and I forgot. Do you remember what it was?
No.
It was on my thing, and I went, oh, I can't do it because I'm not wearing them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I just looked out to make sure I had the right socks. So, I got these for Christmas. You ready?
13th of March. Oh, they're amazing. They're amazing. Yeah.
For those who aren't watching, I've got my feet up on the desk with black socks with white writing underneath. And it says, fuck off, you cunt.
Or it says, fuck you off, cunt.
If you cover your eyes, it will focus on your feet.
Okay, hang on. What do you mean? Cover
your
eyes?
The camera's looking for your eyes. If you move, hey, there we are.
That better?
Perfect.
Fuck you off, cunt.
Okay, I'll do that. That's better. Fuck off, you cunt.
Fuck off, you cunt.
Yeah. Today the socks have been dying to share with you. I've worn them loads as well. I'm surprised they're not bobbled to fucking faded.
There was a hole in the bottom of them.
No, there was not. There was not.
It's a big bunion.
Anyway, right, so it made me look at socks. I don't really know that I want to do it all, to be honest with you. But
do it. I fucking love socks. The best feeling in the world is a fresh pair of socks.
The oldest socks date back to around 300 to 500 AD and were found in Egypt.
That's right.
But they were knitted woolen socks and they had a split toe so they could still wear the sandals.
Oh, that's good. That's genius.
But the idea of foot coverings existed way before that.
Yeah.
The earliest known sock-like items were worn by cavemen around 5000 BC.
Just a bit of cloth around the foot or something.
Well, it says here that they wrapped them in animal skins and furs.
Yeah,
what they would have done is had like a thinnish layer of skins and then put it into a boot.
Yeah.
It's like a fur boot. And then tied it with like leather, whatever. Thongs, they call them.
That.
Yeah. But the socks soon evolved from cavemen and all the rest of it. 8th century BC, Greeks wore socks made from matted animal hair.
I knew it'd be the Greeks.
And matted animal hair. Obviously, we know about the Egyptians after that. Then ancient Rome, 2nd century AD. Romans took things up a notch, I said here, using woven fabric and sewing techniques to create fitted socks called udones.
Udones?
Fitted socks, proper socks, yeah. Oh. In the medieval times, socks became a status symbol, with the wealthy wearing brightly coloured knee-high socks made of silk or wool. Ooh. Well, you see like the Tudors and all that, haven't you?
You do, yeah.
With the socks up to the knees and the frills and all that. Yeah. And the knitting machine. You seen a knitting machine?
I haven't.
You fuck off. You haven't seen a knitting machine?
Sewing machine. Are they different?
Yeah. So it's like a big long, it looks like a keyboard.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you have like your wool on the top.
Oh, God, yeah.
And it's got like this hand thing like that across.
Yeah.
And it knits as you pull it across, but now you've got an electronic one, just does it all for you.
Yeah, I've seen
But I mean, what the joy in that is, I don't know if you're a knitter. You want to knit, don't you? Don't want the machine to do it while you sit have a cup of tea and a biscuit. Anyway, first knitting machine. Guess when it was invented?
1800s.
Dylan.
First knitting machine.
Yeah.
1620.
Very good. No. 1589. 1589.
That's crazy.
1589.
Genius.
Respect. So yeah, they made these knitting machines and it said making socks more accessible to everyone, not just the upper class.
Oof.
For 1589 making knitting machines. Anyway. Right then, so that's superstitions around 13 and socks. Me fuck off you cunt socks. So we're going to move on to I really certainly say hello to Patreons again, don't I?
Hey, Patreon.
So, all of our new Patreons, hello, and as well as our established Patreons, and cheeky bump spank to our OGs. Consensual, always, of course. And our new Patreons are Hannah, Bianca, spelt differently, Maxwell, Tattoo Tina, and Pumpkin. So, Bianca was spelled Beeanca. Bianca. Bianca.
I like that.
Yeah. Okay, so, hello.
Hey, Ron.
Right, I am going to do my little segment. I was going to do another little thing, but I won't. I'm going to leave it till next time because I want to crack on and do this and do it some justice.
Okay.
And we've got something. Do we have anything for you? I can't remember.
No.
Oh, no, we were going to talk about our purchases.
Yes.
Yeah, but not actually go into massive detail because we've just done it on the Patreon. Okay.
Yeah.
Right, so I am going to talk about a guy who was born on this day, 13th of March, in 1933 in South Carolina.
Okay.
He was nicknamed Pee-wee.
Go on.
And he was raised in extreme poverty. Had a very, very, very bad life in the early days. And he was so neglected by his mum, who was always leaving him on his own, not feeding him, not clothing him. He didn't even know his real name until he was older, because mum never, ever called him by his real name. He was Pee-wee to everybody, including his mum.
No way.
And that was because he was always looked like sickly and he wasn't very tall. So it wasn't just his height. You know, you can be short and look fine. But he was like 5'4"-ish, but only 59 kilos.
Oh,
so if you think about, I'm about 62 kilos.
Yeah.
So he was smaller than me and shorter than me.
Yeah.
He always looked sickly. And because of his poor background and the poverty and everything else, he joined a delinquent gang called the Troubled Trio. And they went on like a spree of theft, assaulting females, just general aggravation.
Yeah.
And he was sent to a reform school where he learned to manipulate and use violence to survive. So it was a reform school, but he wasn't reformed at all. He was educated in the ways, basically.
Yeah.
And it was here that he learned his name for the first time. His real name was Donald Gaskins. So Donald Pee-wee Gaskins is his name.
That's sick,
and anybody who is like me and follows serial killer podcasts will know the name Donald Pee-wee Gaskin as a very prolific serial killer in the 50s. Yeah. But this is one of the reasons why he was just really badly treated, very badly neglected. He also choked on something when he was a child. If I wrote this down, this is in my brain somewhere. Hang on a minute. I did write it down somewhere, but I'll just get it from my brain. He swallowed something as a child. He drank something and he choked, and it really, really affected him. And it caused fits. He was only one. And until about 3 years old, he had fits. It was all down to swallowing and choking on this stuff.
Yeah.
And looking back, he reckoned that had an effect on him. Who's to know? Who's to know?
Yeah.
He wasn't even a toddler when he drank this stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Although when you look into serial killers, a massive proportion of serial killers have had head injuries.
Oh, okay.
Massive proportion have had head injuries, being dropped on the head, banged on the head, something like that. So, I might go on a killing spree. I've had a head injury. I don't think I'm a psychopath. My violence is controlled.
Yeah.
You're looking at me not very convinced.
Until it isn't.
Until the day I snap. I like you, it's okay.
Yeah.
We'll go together.
Like that with me single tail. Back, you bitch. Back.
So, after he went to reform school and basically learned his craft, he was too old, left school, and he was just in and out of jail for all sorts, theft, assault, loads of different crimes. He was a proper little ne'er-do-well, as my nan would have called him, ne'er-do-well. Now, at the age of 20, in 1953, he committed his first murder, killing a fellow criminal who'd insulted him. I think he insulted his height and his
was that in jail, did you say?
No, he was just a fellow criminal. He'd been in and out of jail.
Right, got you.
But he was out of jail and he did this one. But he did go to jail for that.
Yeah.
He didn't get life, and he didn't get a death sentence for that. So I don't know. It says killing a fellow criminal. So I don't know whether he like struck the first blow or it was self-defense or what. I don't know. Yeah. But he didn't go down for life or death row. Yeah. However, when he was in prison, he had these like really shrewd ways, and rather than just do his time, he became a contract killer for other people in prison.
Jesus.
Yeah, and he was contracted to kill somebody. He kills a fellow inmate, but that actually gained him respect amongst other inmates and even some prison officers who were fearful of him. And what he did, each time he went into prison, because he was so small, he realised quickly that the only way he was going to get respect and survive was to fight.
Yeah.
And be the big man, so to speak. Yeah. And so he killed this fellow inmate on contract to just basically prove himself to everybody else, so he would be feared. Yeah. But then after that, he was moved to a bit more of a secure facility, but he behaved himself for a little while. And so he was downgraded to a lower security facility not long after that. And he escaped.
No
so he
way.
calculated that basically he was just like the model inmate, didn't put a foot wrong, because he knew that if he went to this particular facility, he could escape and get out. Yeah. So he escaped and he continued his crimes and he escalated into serial killing. Mm-hmm. And there's two types of murders that he was involved in. What's the word I'm looking for? The word isn't coming, but he basically called them coastal kills and serial murders.
Yeah.
It's like little pet names.
There's
a word that wasn't common. The coastal kills were random hitchhikers tortured and murdered for his pleasure.
Fucking hell.
Then the serious murders, as he called them, were personal vendettas targeting acquaintances and business associates.
The people he actually wanted to kill.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So his methods included luring victims into his car. Obviously, a lot of them are hitchhikers and stuff like that. He went along beach areas where a lot of people from out of town would go looking for work and would easily just disappear.
Yeah.
So he'd lure the victims into his car, then drive them to remote locations. He favoured like swampy areas, that kind of thing. He sometimes tortured his victims for hours or days before killing them. And he had like torture devices set up that he would use to help kill them. And he favoured drowning, mutilation, and he also forced his victims to dig their own graves in some instances. There was one instance, I haven't wrote it down here, and he was murdering a female and made her boyfriend watch him torture her, dig her grave, and then killed him and put him in there as well.
What made the boyfriend dig her grave?
Yeah.
That's a mind fuck, that, isn't it?
Yeah. So he claimed to have killed over 100 people, though only 15 were ever confirmed.
Yeah.
So how was he captured in the end? So a girl went missing called Kim Gaskins. She'd been missing for a little while, and she was one of these like boardwalk hitchhiker people that he'd picked up. And her body was found. And then later linked to him. I think he might have been bragging to somebody in prison.
Right.
A lot of them do that, Like, can't you just keep it to yourself? You've got away with that particular murder. Why'd you go bragging about it?
Yeah.
You could still go down for this, go get death, the death penalty. Anyway, he was done for this murder, and they suspected him of 8 other murders, but he didn't confess.
Right.
He was sentenced to death for the murder of Kim. But on what's the word I'm looking for? On a trick of a trick of fate. Yeah, he got away with it. He was sentenced to death, but something wasn't quite right in the trial, and they downgraded him to life in prison.
No way.
Yeah, for killing one girl. He didn't admit to the rest.
Right. Yeah.
While he was in prison, he was thinking out his life sentence, not his death sentence. He murdered another inmate, as you do. But this is in 1982. Yeah. It was a prison bombing. He was hired by a fellow inmate, Tony Simo, to kill Rudolph Tyner. And he built a small bomb inside the radio. It was a C4 bomb. Had it delivered to Tyner's cell. When he turned the radio on, it exploded and killed him instantly, obliterated him. And Pee-wee said it his most intellectual act of murder to that date. He was very pleased with himself. For that, he received a second life sentence and didn't get away with that one. But while he was in prison, he was just quite notorious, just because he was going to die at some point. It just didn't stop him. He was always testing the other inmates, testing the prison guards, and just being a little dickhead, really. Just a
knobhead.
Being a bit of a knob, yeah. Making himself known so people wouldn't forget him. Now, he was sentenced to death in 1991 and electrocuted by electric chair on the 6th of September 1991. It was Daniel's birthday. And his final words were, "I'll let my lawyers talk for me." So basically, he didn't have any big parting words. There's been some really, really famous parting words. There was one guy who killed kids. I'm going to do him one day. I can't remember his name. And he was heavily into BDSM. And he was looking forward to electric chair because it was going to be the ride of his life. Like nothing he'd ever experienced before was BDSM. Yeah.
Some people are tough.
But this guy never had any passing words in that sort of sense. Just I'll let the lawyers talk for me. Mm-hmm. So, he was a master manipulator, this guy. He used charm and fear to control people around him. But what this whole thing raised for me and for others who have followed the case is the flaws in the justice system at the time. Yeah. Because he killed one woman. He got away with a death sentence on that. Then, the reason why he went to trial, I just remembered why. The reason why it was downgraded is because he eventually admitted to the other 8 murders, but only if he got away with the death penalty. So they did. They allowed him to do that, and he went down for life. But then while he was in, he killed the other inmate, and that's why he got his second life sentence, death sentence. But there's a massive flaws in this whole thing. The fact that he committed murder of the first inmate, went to a high security prison, but then for good behaviour got downgraded and escaped. Yeah. The fact that we don't actually know the true numbers. Some people reckon that he's admitted to over 100 murders just for notoriety. He's dying anyway. Yeah. So admit to them just to have that notoriety. But they've only found the 15, so he's only actually been found guilty of the 15. But there are people that he has talked about that have gone missing but never been found. Maybe he's just claiming them or... Yeah. So he's either he's done it or he's just claiming them. Yeah. Yeah, who's to know? But really, really interesting guy. And in the cold light of day, outside of criminal activities, he actually looked really innocuous and not... There he is. Thank you very much. He didn't look like a robber or a really, really bad guy. I mean, that's prison photographs. He does look like a little bit of a ne'er-do-well. Again, there's that word. But actually, he was very charming. Looks a little bit like Stephen Graham. He does, yeah. Jim's cousin knows Stephen Graham. Shut up. Yeah. I love Stephen Graham. Yeah, I like Stephen Graham. So yeah, he was just a normal guy, not that educated, but he got by, polite, pleasant, just faded into the background. Apart from his height, there was nothing in particular that made him stand out. Yeah. And so when people found out, everybody was like really, really shocked. Like this little tiny, weedy little guy. Yeah. How on earth can he murder all these people? Where's he getting the strength from? He's a little tiny guy. Yeah. So basically, he's left his mark, hasn't he? He's brutal. Yeah. He was absolutely brutal, but also very cunning for a guy who wasn't very well educated. He was educated in the ways of crime. Knew what he wanted to do, yeah. When he went to his reform school, that was his school of crime, really, wasn't it? Where he learned the tricks of his trade. Yeah. And all that. But I found him really, really interesting. I like anything like that. I do, to be fair. Yeah. Right, let me just catch up with my notes. I've lost all my notes. I'd love to see Stephen Graham playing that story out. Playing this story? Yeah. Could be quite good. I mean, the story's probably out there, maybe. Yeah, do you know what? I haven't even looked to see if it's out there as a film. I should have done, really. My bad. Here we go. Dill's on it. Go on, Dill. Right. Dylan. Our correspondent. Oh, is he on there? He's on there. Right, while he's looking, I've got something else for him to look at. For a little dangly bit. Just a quick dangly bit. Oh. Oh, yeah, he's looking. Oh.
I think just like documentaries
and
episodes of other shows.
Okay, so it's like one-off episodes, so no films.
Yeah, no direct adaptation.
The meanest man in America.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, I think Trump is.
Yeah.
See all the shite with him and Zelensky?
Just all the shite with him in general.
I know.
I'm not going to go into it. We've got loads of Trump supporters on here.
I know.
But, it's my opinion and I can have it. And it doesn't agree with some of yours, whatever. Just that's politics, innit?
Yeah.
Right, Dylan.
Yes.
Can you look up, please, just type in Seagull on Magpie face.
Oh, I've seen it. I'd seen it on TikTok yesterday. Mate, you can't unsee it.
You can't unsee
that third
it.
one.
Right, so for those who aren't watching, I would like you to go to your phone and go into Google or wherever your chosen search engine is and type in Seagull on Magpie's face. And you're going to see loads and loads of magpies out there, front facing. Because if you remember, there is actually a black-billed magpie out there. These are white-billed magpies. It's basically got a seagull's face on
You can't unsee
on its
it.
bill. Yeah, and you can't unsee it once you've seen it.
Looks photoshopped on.
It does, but it's not. It's real.
Yeah.
Now, Jim, the Wizard of Oz, obviously found this, and it was quoted on 3AW Breakfast Radio in Australia, I think it was.
That's where,
And this woman was calling in, they're like, oh, go away. And they got it up, they're like, oh my God, no way, man.
Yeah.
And so I was like, right, I need to share it with the masses. So I'll share this online as well. But yeah, for those who are listening, not watching, just type in
Fucking
Seagull on
hilarious.
Magpie face and you'll see it. It's just brilliant.
It's good, isn't it?
Isn't it?
I keep thinking, have I never noticed that before?
I know. Right, so we're going to move on. Now, before this, we actually recorded a Patreon special and we did a little bit of a show and tell of some of our toys.
We did.
But we're just going to mention a couple of them now because I want to mention the Townhouse Market, the Kink Market that we have in our venue. It was on, not this Sunday, the Sunday before, but it's also on the 25th of May, 31st of August and the 30th of November in our venue on the Wirral, UK. But we have kink markets all around the country and wherever you are in the world, you will have kink markets. Even in Cyprus, I found out.
Really?
Yeah, Cyprus, very, very religious country, has a small underground BDSM scene. No big clubs out there, very underground, invite only and all that. A few little munches here and there, but they have little small pop-up kink markets.
That's cool.
Yeah. So you will have markets by you. And I always say, try and buy your stuff firsthand in person so you can feel it, smell it, wield it.
Yeah.
And only buy online if you know that seller and you've bought off them before or you've seen this stuff at a market and you're going online to buy it and all that. Just because you've got to know what it feels like in your hand, haven't you? There's loads of floggers that I've been given. I'm like, it doesn't feel right in my hand.
Because like you can look at something on the internet and you think, oh, fucking hell, that's a big, thick flogger. And then you buy it and you order it and it turns up and it's light. And you're like, oh.
The letter's crap.
Yeah, like, it's not what I wanted.
No. So I'm going to show some of my market bits. Did you buy anything from the market in your stuff you brought there?
No, I didn't. I went to what was I looking for at the market? I can't remember what I was looking for. I was looking for something specific. I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
But yeah, just ended up buying a couple of little bits for stuff we've already got.
Yeah.
But yeah, the two bits I got were presents, which
were
not long after.
Yeah. The core, that leather's dead nice. So Ryan's just got out this big long dragon tail. If you don't know what that is, look it up. And it's got like beautiful grey leather and a green handle. And that's called the Big Bastard or the Big, what's it called?
The Big Beefy Boy.
The Big Beefy Boy. Thank you. So the Big Beefy Boy has got a big long handle, about a 12-inch handle, and 1.5 foot tails, of which there's 93 of them. It's massive and very, 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 very heavy.
So yeah, she's a 3-amber.
I like you calling it a she.
Yeah.
One of your most favourite not brutal, but most used, most loved things is a she. I like that.
She is. She's especially when you're like if you're on the backswing and you just give it a twist. Yeah. Just so they all bunch up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever do that with floggers anyway? Do the little turn over somebody? I mean, you don't really do much sensation play, do you?
We do a little bit.
That. It's a bit too heavy, really, that to handle.
I mean, occasionally, if I'm going at her with that, I will just flick it onto her back. Yeah. If she's over a spanker bench, and just drag it down because the weight of it alone, it does feel quite sensual.
It's like a hug.
Yeah.
It would to me anyway.
Yeah.
Because I'm weird.
But yeah, just a mix of bits, really.
Yeah.
Thuddy, stingy, and a bat. I couldn't bring my big back because it wouldn't fit in the back.
So it's like that, but like double the size, isn't it?
Yeah, so we call these the his and hers because not that she tops,
No.
but occasionally we'll take a picture where she holds this bat and I hold the bigger one.
The big one's amazing.
Yeah,
That's the one. That's the one that you got the sound from. It was a.
Love, your mic's on.
I know. I did it on purpose. I gave them the authentic noise. Basically, it was on a Patreon, wasn't it?
It was a Patreon, yeah.
But I think also you whacked me on our live stage one with the big one, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
But on the Patreon, I had like a little lapel mic on, didn't I? And I forgot.
Right here.
I forgot.
Yeah.
And I hadn't had this before from you, and you gave me one whack, and my immediate reaction was just, ugh. But it was the loudest noise, and so we made sure that it came up, didn't we? Turned it right up when we were doing the editing. So everybody heard my, ugh.
It was intense. It was
amazing.
Ugh.
It was so good. There's just something about it. I love it.
And then my favourite present from you.
Yeah.
It's going to roll off.
I do like a dragon tail.
So yeah, tail, quirt.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you call it, but...
Dragon tail. Nice. Very nice.
She's lovely.
If you heard that in the background, that was Ryan wielding the dragon tail. That was like a running commentary then. I sounded like I was doing a running commentary for tennis. And
should
Ryan
do that
is
in
just...
a scene one day.
We should do it. Ryan is just taking spot in front of his submissive. He's swinging his hand back. Oh, nice shot.
Oh.
Nice shot, blinding
We should
shot.
get two of us doing it.
We should do. We should do like a football commentary, bro, for Radical Desire.
Can we do it?
We could do.
We just get a big cardboard box and we sit in it.
We could do.
With a little window cut out.
Like we could do it in the orgy room. We could do a running commentary in the orgy room. Oh, yeah. And he's going for it, Ryan. Handing over to you. And then it's like, oh, blinding. He's just gone.
Straight lines, sir.
Stripes. During commentary of a bukkake scene.
Oh, another one's entered the fold.
Nice shot, young man. Nice shot. Up the nose. Well done. Anyway, I didn't even know we got there, but yeah,
I don't.
Running commentary.
Yeah, running commentary.
So, my little bits and bobs, I haven't got time to show them all, but I'm just going to feature a couple that I think would stand out.
Yeah.
This one here is made out of a fire hose. And I love it because the texture's really, really rough.
Yeah.
And when I buy a toy, I try and think about all the things I can do with one toy because they're not cheap, are they?
They're not, to be fair,
a good
no.
toy, it is quite pricey.
Yeah.
I can't remember how much I spent on that now. For 40 quid, 45 quid, something like that.
40, 60 quid. So I think they were
like
quite relatively priced.
I can't remember. He had a wide one as well.
Yeah.
He had a wide one.
He had a wide one. Mav's wide on.
I laughed at it. He had a wide one as well, like that. But I decided to get the long one to go over two cheeks.
I reckon if you give that a good, the noise of it.
It's really, really good. On bare skin, it's nasty, but really good. So as it hits the skin, it's got a real like thump sound because it's hollow in the middle.
Yeah.
So it changes the sound. But I was thinking about this, right? What could I do? So obviously I'm going to hit people on the arse with it. I can warm them up or I can really, really whack them with it. But also, I could trap things in that.
I was just going to say that, yeah. It's like you're being born.
It's like...
coming out the womb.
Hang on. Yes, Johnny!
Thumbnails sorted, thank you.
Hang on, let me get my wig on. Oh, I like that, I might grow me in.
You need a spliff now. Yeah, man.
Bomber glass!
Oh, fuck, we only got 5 minutes left. Right, okay. So, I'd whack people, I'd trap things in there, I'd poke them.
Wait, could you rub it? Like,
no, it's not that. No, not really. But you could. It's rough.
Yeah.
So on like a really, really red arse that's being whacked a lot, you could rub it. I'm I'm trying to take you seriously. Right, hang on. Just.
Yeah.
It's sitting. It's going forward. It's going to fall forward onto the mic.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So pull it
Sorry.
back.
Hang on. Let me get a centre.
Ready? Oh. I hate you with a dildo.
Oh shit! I knew it was going to happen as well.
Dildo to the face. I'm so sorry. Right, okay. This makes no sense. People not watching. So those who aren't watching, Ryan's got his big, what's it called? The big something.
The big beefy boy.
The big beefy boy on his head, because why not? It's Padded Cell Podcast. It's Monday. It's the start of the week, and all the falls of the flogger are falling over his face. He looks like a rasta with a big fucking knob on his head because that's the handle sticking up. You're like a rasta knobhead. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Bumba glad.
I love it. You're actually quite rocking that. Anyway, right. So I want to just show you that. And also, just because I know she watches, they watch, Sarah P and Andrew.
Yeah.
They own Knots and Nuts. They do all sorts of like floggery hitty things with all sorts of different materials. Yeah. But this one is out of rope with little balls on the end, weighted balls, and I can swing these round. I can Florentine them. I can use them on their own. I can use them together. I can use them separately with two separate hands, or I can put them together and really wield them.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking hell! Nearly whacked myself then. So really like them. Thank you very much, Sarah P and Andrew, for those handmade products.
I've asked Sarah if she can make me a monkey fist in these colours.
Yeah,
so she's going
to
go on that.
She probably will. Very clever they are. So yeah, markets is where you need to go for all your kit. Yeah. I just wanted to show you a few little bits and bobs that I bought from our market. I mean, there are other things. I just haven't got time to talk about them. You know, good for willies and balls. Expelliarmus!
Oh man, I get over.
All them fucking dementors that come into the club they don't want to talk to because it's so fucking boring. Expelliarmus. Didn't mean that. Love you all. Right then. Have you got time for a... We haven't. No. We haven't.
See you later.
So the fetish factoid today was going to be... I'm not going to talk about it. It's going to... Right, hang on. Achmophilia.
That's how I feel every fucking day, getting out of bed.
Achmophilia.
Everything aches.
I've got achmophilia.
My fucking jaw aches after talking all day yesterday.
That's your missus, mate. Fucking hell.
Jaw ache.
Honestly, this woman talks so much. Anyway, achmophilia. It's knife play.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I was going to tell you all about it, but I might actually do an episode, a little Patreon on some edge play. Edge play is cool. Play which could harm you if the stuff was in the wrong hands.
Can we do that next week? And I'll bring one in.
Yeah, I'll bring my knife.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I've got my blunt knife, my hunting knife. I'll bring my hunting knife to the studio. Shit, sorry, Jacob.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll talk about that. But one thing I do at night before we go is a nice big hunting knife, blunt. I always hide it out the way so the subs can't see it.
Yeah.
Pint glass, full of ice, knife.
Yeah.
Cold blade in the... About half an hour in, they're in a little zone. No idea what I'm going to be doing next. Bring the knife out on the ball sack.
Yeah.
They fucking hit the roof. Woo! Balls are gone. The balls are in the abdomen. Disappeared, running for their fucking lives. That's knife play. And on that bombshell...
Love you, bye.
You binge watcher, put the kettle on. We'll see you in 5. Fucking hell, right. If not, we'll see you next week.
Rasclad.
And there we have it. Another day made better by listening to the curators of chaos. Thanks for dropping by. And if you enjoyed the show, we'd really appreciate you sharing the love of the Padded Cell podcast with your friends. Don't forget to give us a follow on our socials, maybe some 5-star reviews, and feel free to send us an email to medic@thepaddedcellpodcast.co.uk, or even interact with us on Facey, Insta, and our other socials, because we love chatting to you. Make sure you stop by next week because, as Bowie says, I don't know where I'm going next, but I promise it won't be boring. Catch you soon.